هذا هي المشاكل بتاع الجنوب السودان الناس كل جانين وده يا سبب بتاع قاعد بيشوف في ناس كتير قاعد بس مكالا لو شال زول برا من كرسي عشان شنو وما ده يكون جان ببيت عشان أقوم ما قاعد يشغل حاجة للشعب يشغل بس للسياسي لو أقوم كان جاب شركات الزول قوي يشغل الزول متعلم يشغل عشان تعليم اللي يعني كان حاجة كان كويس لكن ناس ده التو جاب مشاكل كتير في جنوب السودان شركات ما في مساجد ما فوق قادوا مدارس ما شغالين شوارع ما في سوقات وقالي يجيبوا مياه ونفس زمن مياه ما في ما قادرين يعملوا سلام عشان الجنوبيين إذا يمشي حاجة واحد كافر من ما بقدر يشغلوا للجنوبيين كلمة يعمل سلام كمان عشان الجنوبيين يمشي للعباد الجيم ناس اللي يشغل الرومان لو بيجي في مشاكل كلي وزارة الدفاع يشغل للناس مشاكل ده وزارات عني يشغل للجنوبيين.
Sounds of the Week on iRadio, your eye on South Sudan.
Live from Juba, on air and online.
This is iRadio News.
Hello, good afternoon. This is iRadio News. First, here are the headlines. The United Nations says more than 180 people, including 4 humanitarian workers, have so far been killed and over 250 others injured, with 125,000 people displaced amid armed clashes and aerial bombardments in Upper Nile State. Some elites from the Cholo community in Upper Nile State have raised deep concern over displacement of civilians due to the ongoing violence in 4 counties. And the National Examination Council has revealed the cancellation or results of 134 primary school candidates in Jonglei State over what it terms as a serious breach of examination rules and regulations. This is stories and more coming to you in this news bulletin with me, Lasuba Memo, and now the news in detail. The United Nations says more than 180 people, including 4 humanitarian workers, have so far been killed and over 250 others injured, with 125,000 people displaced amid armed clashes and aerial bombardments in Upper Nile State. During a visit to Malakal on Tuesday, UN Humanitarian Coordinator Anita Kikik-Beho reiterated the need for the protection of the population and immediate unimpeded access to life-saving humanitarian aid. In a statement, Ms. Beho said, and I quote, "I had first-hand accounts of the impact the violence is having on people. All actors involved in the violence must refrain from harming the population, including humanitarian personnel who risk their lives every day to deliver," end quote. Since March 2025, the peacekeeping body said armed clashes and aerial bombardments have killed more than 180 people, injured over 250 others, and displaced an estimated 125,000 people in Upper Nile. The violence has also claimed the lives of 4 humanitarian workers, and 6 health facilities have been forced to shut down due to looting and destruction. The UN statement also cited Tuesday's medical aid MSF suspension of vital health services at Ulang Hospital, which serves 174,000 people following extensive looting of several facilities in the area. The UN said humanitarian access remains restricted in South Sudan, and critical medical supplies are rapidly running out amid an ongoing cholera outbreak that has already claimed 919 lives and infected nearly 49,000 people. While in Malakal, Ms. Beho met with conflict-affected communities, the governor of Upper Nile State, UN agencies, non-governmental organizations, and civil society representatives to assess the humanitarian situation and coordinate the response on the ground. Some elites from the Cholo community in Upper Nile State have raised deep concern over the displacement of civilians due to the ongoing violence in 4 counties. The call comes in response to reported attacks allegedly by SPLA-IO and its allied armed groups on unified forces in parts of the state. The affected counties include Panyekang, Makal, Fashoda, and Manyo. In a statement delivered on behalf of the communities, Rebecca Joshua Okwashi, who represents Panyekang County at the Transitional National Legislative Assembly, condemned the violence.
جماعات شلو من المقاطعات الأربع فنيكان ماكال فشودا ومانيو نستنكر وندين بشدة الهجمات العسكرية من قبل قوات الجيش الشعبي في المعارضة IO على نيلواك باكوا ووباي في مقاطعة فنيكان بولاية أعلى النيل يوم 14 أبريل 2025، والذي أدى إلى نزوح عدد مقدر ب5,000 من المواطنين، وقد امتد النزوح إلى قرى مقاطعة ماكال، مما أدى إلى زعزعة استقرار مواطني مقاطعتي فشودا ومانيو.
According to Rebecca, the confrontation started on March 26 in the town of Tonga, leading to the displacement of between 3,000 and 4,000 people in Tonga and surrounding areas. She said the displaced persons have since sought refuge in Liri, bordering Sudan's South Kordofan region. Rebecca added that further violence was reported on March 31st in the Torguang area of Manyo County, displacing an estimated 2,000 families. Lawmaker Kwaji urged all armed actors to prioritize peace and protection of civilians. The Cholo community expressed condolences to families who lost loved ones in the recent clashes and wished a swift recovery to those injured. They called on the national government to intervene urgently to de-escalate tensions and support peace efforts in the region. Rebecca urged the Upper Nile State authorities to provide emergency humanitarian aid to the displaced populations and ensure their protection.
على خلفية هذه الأحداث المؤسفة نقدم تعازينا القلبية لأسر الشهداء الذين قدموا أرواحهم فدية للوطن، كما نتمنى الشفاء العاجل لجرحى تلك الأحداث المؤسفة. 2. نطالب الحكومة القومية بالتدخل العاجل لإنقاذ هذا الموقف العصيب. 3. ندعو حكومة ولاية أعلى النيل للعناية بالمواطنين الفارين من جراء هذه الأحداث وتقديم المساعدات الإنسانية العاجلة لهم.
The Cholo communities further called for the peaceful withdrawal of any forces currently occupying Tonga, the administrative capital of Panyekan County. They emphasized the need for a return to lawful and stable governance in the area. The National Examination Council has revealed the cancellation of results of 134 primary school candidates in Jonglei State over what it terms as a serious breach of examination rules and regulations. Speaking to the media, the Council Secretary General Simon Nyok Teng said the decision affects students from 4 schools all located in Pangak County. The schools include Kweryong Primary School, Bier Primary School, St. Paul and Pete and Paul Primary School, and George Bao Primary School. According to Nyok, the candidates from these institutions were found to be in serious breach of exam regulations, prompting the council to take a strict disciplinary action. The council said it is committed to upholding the integrity of the national examination system and warns that similar measures will be taken against any future violations.
The council have taken serious steps in cancelling 134 examination results, and these results come from 4 schools, and these 4 schools are all from Pangak County of Jonglei State. School number 1 is Kweryong Primary School, and number 2 is Bier Primary School, number 3 is St. Peter and Paul Primary School, and number 4 is Juajbo Primary Schools. These were candidates that were found in serious breach of examination rules and regulations.
Yesterday, the National Examination Council released a 2024 Certificate of Primary School Examination with the top 2 students sharing same marks from Juba Christian Center JCC Primary School in Juba. The 2 pupils are Felix Luwala Wani and Moses Jerry Achire, both scoring 453 marks. Juba Christian Center Model Primary School is ranked the best school countrywide. Over 70,000 candidates, including 43,266 males and 35,744 females, registered for the exams. However, only 77,264 candidates, including 42,257 males and 35,007 females, attempted the examinations, while the rest were reported absent. This is iRadio 1 o'clock news. A mobile court has begun operations today in Lair County of Unity State to address a backlog of criminal cases. According to police spokesperson Captain John Malieth Kwal, the court will handle a total of 57 cases, including 35 murder cases and 8 rape cases. Additional cases involved serious physical injuries and forced marriages. Captain Malieth said investigations into these cases began on March 28 and court hearings are scheduled to start today and will end on May 9th. The police spokesperson said the court team includes 2 High Court judges, 2 prosecutors and 3 defense lawyers. They are supported by a team of 5 investigators, 3 from outside the country, 2 from Juba and 1 from Bentiu, along with 2 trained local investigators and 3 court clerks. The police spokesperson spoke to iRadio from Lair yesterday.
From the beginning of the mission, it was on 28 March 2025. We started the investigation of the cases here in Lair County. We have 57 cases, including the murder cases we have rape cases, and also which we got. For the cases that we have here now, for the murder cases, we have almost 5. For the murder cases, we have 8 cases for the rape cases, and we have a forced marriages, 3 cases of the forced marriage. And we have another cases, for example, the danger court. It will start tomorrow on that 16 April 2025 up to 9 May. We have 3 investigators, 2 come from Juba and 1 from Bentiu, and we have 2 national investigators in the country that we trained them last time. We have 2 prosecutors, and we have a defense lawyer, the victim side, and we have 3 advocates for the defense lawyer. We have 2 High Court judges. We have 3 court clerks.
The mobile court initiative is part of ongoing efforts to improve access to justice in remote areas and tackle serious crimes that have gone unaddressed due to limited judicial infrastructure. The Multi-Partner Trust Fund for Reconciliation, Stabilization and Resilience and the Royal Norwegian Embassy in Juba have provided financial resources to the Lair Mobile Court. Since 2013, sustained conflict and insecurity have forced the withdrawal of judges from Unity State. In the absence, residents have relied entirely on customary courts to resolve disputes, including serious crimes beyond their jurisdiction. Lair County, one of the areas hardest hit by conflict, has had no access to formal justice mechanisms for over a decade. This is iRadio News. The Minister of Wildlife Conservation and Tourism has suggested the need to harmonize multiple and uncoordinated tax collections in the tourism sector, warning that the current system hinders investment and growth. Speaking after a meeting with Vice President and Chairperson of the Economic Cluster, Dr. Benjamin Paul-Mel, yesterday, Rizik Zakaria Hassan said there are so many investors who are willing to come and invest in this sector. However, the industry is facing multiple collections at the national and state governments, discouraging investors from coming into the country. Rizik believes harmonizing tourism-related taxes can play a key role in promoting and managing South Sudan's economy. According to him, Vice President Dr. Paul-Mel expressed his office readiness to address the matter.
The second item is about the investment in the tourism sector, because there are so many investors willing to come and invest in this sector, and hopefully this tourism sooner or later will take the lead in promoting and managing the South Sudan economy. And I shared it with him, and luckily enough, I got His Excellency very smart, and is even more than ready to help us in that area. And the third item is about the revenue generations of this ministry. Actually, there is multiple collections within this within the domain of tourism at the different levels, at the national, at the states, as well as the local council, the local level. But what is needed now is the harmonization of these taxes. Otherwise, it will be a burden on the tour operators as well as the stakeholders of this sector.
Before we move to the international arena, the father of a South Sudanese boy, Malang Tong, who was shot in Libya in February, is appealing for financial assistance to raise an estimated $18,000 for his son's transfer to Egypt for better medical treatment. Malang, who had left his mother and siblings in Egypt, in search of a better life, was arrested in Tunisia while attempting to cross into Europe with his peers. During his arrest, he was shot by Libyan authorities while others attempted to flee. He was hospitalized in Libya, where doctors discovered fractures in 3 parts of his leg requiring surgery. Despite initial surgery, Malang's condition remains critical and he urgently needs further medical attention. His father, Tong Akoth, spoke to iRadio on Friday, urging for help to transfer Malang to Egypt, where advanced medical facilities could better support his recovery.
اسم ملان تام المشكلة أصل له وضرب من ليبيا من شهر 2 دارا تاليان وفي مستشفى في ليبيا وضعته تعبان شديد كسر كروينو ولسه عاليان عملية لسه مستمر الجروجان بقدر نساعد به هناك ما في أنا داير مساعدة للشعب بتاعنا جنوب السودان الحكومة والتجار ورجال الدين يساني حسب قدر طبعا الجروج بتاعي هناك عشان يرحلوا من ليبيا لمصر في مستشفى وضام هناك 18,000 دولار جروج ده أنا ما بقدر أنا نلقى كله.
He also urged South Sudanese youth to avoid risky journeys abroad and focus on building a sustainable future within the country. This is iRadio Afternoon News, and now we move to the international arena. Here is Barrier Johnson with the international news.
Good afternoon, Lasuba, and here are some of the stories making headlines in the region and beyond. An American pastor who was kidnapped by armed men during a church service in South Africa last week has been rescued following a high-intensity shootout that left 3 people dead, according to the police. George Sylvian was found unharmed in the township in the Eastern Cape on Tuesday evening, the area where the 45-year-old was snatched from last Thursday. There were no immediate details on the kidnappers, who are suspected of having been familiar with the family's movements. Elsewhere, hundreds of Tunisians protested on Tuesday demanding accountability after 3 students died on Monday following a school wall collapse in the central town. The incident provoked widespread anger and accusations of negligence against officials. The collapse of the wall led to the death of 3 teenage students preparing for their exams, and 2 others were seriously injured, according to the civil defense. And finally, China has unexpectedly appointed a new trade envoy, as officials said the U.S. practice of tariff and trade bullying is having a serious impact on the global economic order. Li Shenjiang, a former assistant commerce minister and ambassador, is taking over from the veteran trade negotiator vice commerce minister Wang Chuan. The shift comes as Beijing refused to back down in an escalating trade war with Washington, triggered by U.S. President Donald Trump's tariffs on Chinese goods. That's all from the stories making headlines in the regional and international arena. And now back to you, Lasuba Memo, in the studio.
Thank you, Varia Johnson. Now let's get the very latest in the world of sports by Obachoku Chagal.
Thank you, Lasuba Memo. In the world of sport, we start with South Sudan Premier League, where Jamus FC have moved up to the 2nd place in the league after a big 6-1 win over Korean-born. Jamus now have 41 points, just 2 behind league leaders Qatar. Jamus also have 3 games in hand. Qatar missed the chance to increase their lead at the top after a dramatic 2-2 draw with Al Mariq Bantiu. Qatar were ahead by 2 goals at the halftime but could not hold on. Qatar remains first with 43 points. Al Mariq Bantiu are 4th with 31 points and also have 3 games in hand. In today's match, Bantiu City, who are in the 10th place with 11 points, will play Young Star, who are 13th with 10 points. In the UEFA Champions League, Barcelona and Paris Saint-Germain are through to the semi-final of UEFA, despite both losing their return league matches on Tuesday. Barcelona lost to Borussia Dortmund, but their 4-0 win in the first league was enough to see them through. PSG were beaten by Aston Villa, but they also qualified thanks to their earlier strong performance. Both teams are now waiting to find out who they will face in the semi-finals. Real Madrid plays Arsenal tonight and Inter Milan vs Bayern Munich. And in NBA, the Golden State Warriors and Orlando Magic have booked their spot in NBA playoff after winning their conference play-in games. In the West, Stephen Curry scored 37 points as the Warriors beat the Memphis Grizzlies 121-116 in San Francisco. In the East, Cole Anthony scored 36 points off the bench to help Orlando Magic beat Atlanta Hawks 120-95 at home. This is what you have in the world sport, and back to you, my colleague Lasuba Memo.
Thanks indeed, Obachaku Chagawa. This is iRadio Afternoon News, and to end this news, here is the recap of the headlines. The United Nations says more than 180 people, including 4 humanitarian workers, have so far been killed and over 250 others injured, with 125,000 people displaced amid armed clashes and aerial bombardments in Upper Nile. Some elites from the Cholo King community, in Upper Nile State have raised deep concern over displacement of civilians due to ongoing violence in 4 counties. And the National Examination Council has revealed the cancellation of results of 134 primary school candidates in Jonglei State over what it terms as a serious breach of examination rules and regulations. That's the end of iRadio Afternoon News. If there is a story or an event you'd like iRadio to cover or report about, please send us a text message at +211 925 287 It's also a WhatsApp number. Follow us on X at iRadio Juba. Like our Facebook page, iRadio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at iRadio South Sudan. You can also visit our website and listen to us online at www.iradio.org. Stay tuned for the news in Arabic at 12:30. I am Lasuba Memo. Thank you for listening.